Hey guys, how's it going? It is the 24th of January 2016. Things are going pretty well here. Not a lot to report really, other than I think the depression is continuing to lift. Things are starting to feel better. I really hope it's the medication working, and it may be just that the depression is running out of steam some, which I would certainly be happy with. But I managed to get outside a little bit today and in the last couple of days and get some sun, which I think is definitely helpful, going to be helpful. What else? I've just been trying to stay in a better mindset, try to look towards the future, try to do as best I can to just do a little something each day to get better. Whether it be to meditate, whether it be to work on some photography, to get outside and play disc golf, to communicate with friends, to go meet somebody for dinner or for a coffee, whatever it is. I feel like that is so important. And I've read a lot of other literature and seen a lot of other videos that structure right now is hugely important. It's hugely important to someone who has been without structure for a number of months, who, and maybe this is just me, maybe you can relate to this as well. When I don't have structure and I'm depressed, I go back to bed. I sleep. I do nothing. My energy level is just so low because I'm so used to not expending energy. I'm not eating well. I'm not thinking well. I'm essentially just really sluggish. Of course, that's going to happen when you don't eat. But I feel like if you can break some of that cycle each day, and that's really where I'm at, and what I'm trying to do is kind of break my cycle of constant depression, building on depression, doing things that are depressing, sleeping all day and building on the depression, not eating. Those kind of things really seem to keep me in that cycle of unable to get better, unable to see the future, unable to get things done that might contribute and help in the future. And so for that reason, I feel like for me, and maybe for you out there, you can relate if you're depressed, if you're going through difficult mental illness, if you're fighting bipolar disorder, that structure, even just a little bit each day, can really do a lot of good things for a person. I've even started using the calendar function on my phone to sort of remind me of things, to put something in there each day that I can go do. And just in general, it helps with appointments as well. I feel like when you're coming out of a depression, when you're fighting mental illness, sometimes the last thing you can do is remember what an appointment is. Remember what you were supposed to do that day, what things you need to take care of. I mean, hell, there are days I have a hard time doing my laundry, or getting out of bed and taking a shower, brushing my teeth, getting ready for the day, getting charged up to go somewhere, to just staying off the computer for, hours at a time, which is really easy to do. And I think that's another thing. For myself, to give myself advice, it'd be to stay off the computer some. When I am on the computer, I feel better if I'm doing something productive, if I'm working on photography, if I'm even making a video and uploading a video, because at least I feel like there's something there that shows I was productive, and that's the kind of person I am. So when I'm on Facebook 4 hours at a time, or just on Reddit, like cruising around and looking at stuff, I mean, really worthless crap that we all do. I don't know, I feel even more brought down by that, and less, don't feel particularly productive or good about my day when that happens. So right now, structure, avoiding monotonous, repetitive, depressing activities, trying to get outside, trying to communicate with people in my life, trying to keep a more positive and patient attitude. Those are the things and the skills that I'm using right now. And with that, I'm doing things like I mentioned, like meditation. I haven't been reading as much lately, and I'd like to get back into a book. I think it would help distract me sometimes and keep me from, feeling like I'm bored and I want to get on the computer or whatever it is. Honestly, though, I'm glad that things seem to be getting a little better. I look back and I think about the terrible things that were going on 2 months ago. I even look back at a month ago when I was in and out of the hospital for, the feelings of wanting to commit suicide, the feelings of just intense depression, being debilitated by it. So I try to keep that in mind, that despite my current difficulties and the situation that's not perfect or not, it may not just be as quick as I want it to be. I'd love to be perfectly healthy right now and to feel so clear and to know exactly where my future's headed and all of those things. But unfortunately, I'm having to learn to be patient. That I can't have instant gratification with this because it's going to take time. It's going to take time to feel healthy. It's going to take time to really sort out what I want to do with my future. And it's going to take time to develop some new skills and new routines and new things that I can do to keep myself healthy. Not just get back to the level where I was that clearly was not working for me because the anxiety was so high. The instances of depression were there afterwards. The brief hypomanic states were there that didn't do me any good. I would make bad decisions. And so it's all about learning new skills to break that pattern and to do better. But I'm still taking Lamictal. I'm taking 75 milligrams a day. I'm about to go up to 100 milligrams, I think in 2 or 3 days. I was going to show you what my pills look like here because I'm bored. Maybe you are too. But yeah, you can see them. They're very, very small. Yeah, I don't know if that'll even focus, but here they are. Those are the little 25 milligram ones. Little tiny things. Little funny diamond shaped. And that is 25 grams of Lamictal. I always thought Lamotrigine was a funny name. It sounds like somebody's kind of redneck cousin or whatever. They introduce you to Lamotrigine, but I'm kind of stupid like that. So, and then I'm going to start taking these in a few days. These are the 100 milligram versions, and I'm dropping them on the floor, which is not smart. But there's the 100s. You can see them. Yeah, they're a little larger. But this is the medication I take. The medication I hope is making me feel better. I haven't had any particularly noticeable side effects from the Lamictal yet. Some people do talk about thinning hair or what else do people say? Like making them tired. And I did feel like they were kind of making me tired, especially when I went up to 75 milligrams. And from what I understand, when you do increase dosage, maybe it takes it takes a few days, a week to adjust to that new dosage, and so you may be tired in the meantime. But from everything else, I mean, I have a weird taste in my mouth. Sometimes I can taste, I don't know, the pills or the chemicals or whatever it is. But in general, I really haven't had any particularly noticeable side effects from the Lamotrigine yet, Lamictal. I hope it continues. Yeah, and what they say is 100 milligrams is apparently a therapeutic dose, or between like 100 and 200 is typically an effective dose for most people on this medication. So I'm getting close to reaching that point after about a month here of taking it, and I'm pleased so far that at least I'm taking a medication that my body seems to be able to withstand, that I'm not having the terrible fogginess and lethargy that I had with Seroquel, that thankfully this medication is not as expensive as Abilify, and you know that things work out. Yeah, that was the first medication I was on, Abilify, and it was really expensive. I just couldn't afford it, so now I am on Lamictal. But anyway, I realize I'm just kind of rambling, but I wanted to check in with everybody, say hello. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Again, I appreciate all the comments on the videos, and I hope you're gaining something out of this. If nothing else, you know that someone else is battling the same thing that you are, that you have battled, or that you may in the future. And again, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. This experience has not been great, but I hope, like I have gained strength from the YouTube videos that I've found of people, some of them years old, that I can provide some strength for someone who will go through this eventually and need somebody to at least relate to. And I hope you can relate to me. I can relate to a lot of your stories out there and a lot of your videos, a lot of stuff I see posted online. I think very much so that's there's a lot of powerful stories out there, and there's a lot of people who are fighting for their lives, for their sanity, for their dreams, their hopes, whatever it may be, and they're fighting mental health problems. And so know that you aren't alone, and that I enjoyed talking with you, and we'll talk soon. I'll see you guys.